Hello, everyone. We are doing our meeting before the next, this is the last meeting before we do our next track meet. And I want to go over, we've got track and field to cover. We've got powerlifting to cover. We have the workout for August to cover. We have how to loosen up. There's been quite a bit of people that are too tight. And I need to go over that with you. I got a pretty deep lesson that goes with that. So those are the things that we are going to go over. And get the heads on in a good place for before the next meets. So we can improve on a psychological level. That's the best way to put it. So that's what today's lesson is going to be, a little bit more psychological than physical. So it's going to be more psychological than physical. That's what we are going to cover. Anything that we are having to go through with head coach Todd, I put all of you through it. Might as well share it with you. No sense in hoarding all the torturous psychological lessons that he puts us through. I feel like sharing today. Anyway, USA track and field new practice update. So I am going to go into screen share. So the month 7 practice stays good until the 10th. So you got about another couple days, and then starting on the 11th, we go into this. Powerlifting, since we decided earlier this year, powerlifting was going to be a end of year sport. September will be when we restart power sport training. And I did find a pretty cool show still in it's in Toledo, Ohio. So I'm going to go over that with you at the in December. So that gives us, September, everyone's just like kind of just getting back into it. So it doesn't really count. So really you got all of October and November. So you got a good 8 weeks. So as you get more and more conditioned and being able to do more and more things and execute more of your fast twitch muscle fiber, the easier and easier and easier the lifts get. I was talking with one of the other athletes the other day. We were talking about one of the track athletes, this Asian girl. We see her at all the events, and come to find out, which I'll show you soon on the USA track and field list, she doesn't practice. She just does so many meets in a year. And so that's her practice. That's how she's getting all her workouts in. So she's just doing so many different events. I was like, wow, that's cool. So she doesn't have to think about all her stuff. And you can tell when she goes to the event, she's like, just getting better and better every year. So that's something really cool to look forward to when you get really good and you've got the development that we've been putting you through is starting to really show up in everything that we have trained you to do. Then we can all arrive there and actually just really have a good time and, do little last minute strategic moves, different things that we might change at the last minute or whatever. So that's really what development is all about. So development is, we are developing you not to be an athlete. You're already coming to the table as athletes. So I don't have to develop you into an athlete. We are going through so many fundamentals as a master's athlete. And so that's what all of the stuff I'm going to review today. A master's athlete is so different from anything you remember from the past, or if this is your first time ever doing sports or whatever, you don't really have a past. But even if you were 16 to 20, 24, 25 years old, it's a completely different set of rules after those ages. Human brain typically is done developing, that frontal lobe is done developing by 25 or 26. So it's the first time ever you're actually at your pinnacle of logic. So all the way up until that time, logic is hit or miss for most people. But as you age, every decade that you age, your brain gets better and better at minute details. And so that makes why it's easy for us, since we're all masters, to break down different events that we're all competing in into those little tiny baby pieces and just get you working on just one piece, one piece, one piece. And that's where we actually have a great advantage when it comes to masters athletics and the way that the brain is actually developing. So it's really good at focusing on details. I just know myself, if I was in my 30s, no way, just way too much to focus on to actually get into all these details. So now I just feel so different. I can actually take one new lesson or just like a new lesson, a new piece to the javelin or a new piece to my deadlift or whatever, and just keep working on that, obsessing on that. Sometimes some of the words that people hear, especially if you grow up with insane parents or mental disorders in the family, some words are kind of perverted by that. The word obsessive, when we're talking about the word obsessive, is not like rubbing your fingers on the stove 100 times. It's not that useless behavior. Obsessive, when it comes to sports, Todd just said, that is a sign of an athlete. So that's an actual really good trait to have. So athletes have an obsessive nature to keep repeating, and that's what makes them really good. A lot of little kids, you can see the ones that are going to actually be really good in sports, they get very obsessive. Well, that can be irritating to adults, but it is a trait that's excellent for athletes. It really is very, very good for athletes to have obsessiveness. So I want to give everyone like a new set of definitions. So you got the way the herd perverts, almost not the herd. I'm not going to say the herd perverts it. I'm going to say manipulative psychopaths pervert definitions. And then it gets into the mainstream. And then if anyone does know a definition, because I ask definitions all the time from people and they don't even know what they are, and it just is mind-boggling. So many of us do not know basic definition. Anyway, obsessiveness is one of those that spooked me for a while just from having a crazy mother. That's the last thing I wanted to do, but I did not realize, athletic obsessiveness is a very healthy thing, very, very good thing. It's not a negative trait. Don't talk down about it. Don't say anything bad about it. It's actually a very high trait of being a great athlete. So that's one thing I wanted to cover. And then when it comes to, Dana and I were just discussing this earlier, when she teaches and she's kids, or when we teach you guys, powerlifting or whatever, we're doing reps. Well, that's the obsessiveness. So when you do a lot of reps, you are doing a lot of obsessive behavior, just getting those reps down, getting those reps down. And the human body and the human brain, they both need those things. Because since the brain's taking in 40 to 110,000 thoughts and perceptions and ads and all this shit that's out here on a daily basis, in order to beat the 140,000 things that are coming at your brain, you've got to put a lot of reps in where it starts to stick out and take some of that mind share. Let me see what this is. Yep. Can you define manipulative psychopath? It would say, see Nina Inks. That's what it would say. Anyway, that's funny. I was working with another client the other day. I'm going to say something about that you brought that up, Miranda. I think that when we get raised to be nice, that's never good. Our innate nature, human nature, if you're healthy and you're not a psychopath, it doesn't need to be nice. It just is like good. It's like we have empathy, we have sympathy, we have a lot of great traits. And you don't need to be told to be nice. And fake nice can really fool people. But anyway, it also makes you, when you're being nice, it makes you make up lies about people's behavior and soften it up. It's semantics. People are changing words around to make themselves not get scared or fearful, or to be nice about things in nature that are not nice. And that's the worst thing you could do, because I remember this one cowboy movie. I had to watch them all growing up, which I actually love them all. especially love Tombstone. I love Doc Holliday, but I remember this one cowboy movie, and this guy said half measures, and I was like, oh shit. So he said no half measures. I think it might have been Kevin Costner. Anyway, he said no half measures. And so the point he was making was you're not going to win with half measures. Well, that's the same thing with human nature. If there's a psychopath and you just said, he's just stupid, or he's selfish, or she's a bitch, or he's an asshole, those are half measures. If someone is psychologically warped, that's not stupid. That's not a bitch. That's not an asshole. That's a psychopath. And those half measures that you're doing emotionally, because you're emotionally putting a word on them that's false, you're going to take half measures and not be able to fix damage that they cause, because they only cause damage. They do nothing good. So whether they are a mate, a parent, a student in your class, your own kid, God forbid, would fucking suck. But if you put half measures on people, they're going to keep fucking you over, and they're going to keep harming you emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. And so you want to be careful with half measure talk, with semantic talk that's false. It's not true. And so that's why it's really important to, I don't think nature works that way. I think it's either, you can correct me if you feel like it, it's either a beautiful, gorgeous ocean, beautiful sun, blue sky, perfect temps, lovely breeze, you're getting a great tan, everything is smooth, or it's a fucking tsunami. It's either you're having a great time hiking, perfect weather, or you fucking get snowed in and murdered by the snow. Fucking dead, and people can't find you for 8 weeks because you went hiking by yourself at some California mountain. I think there's a poem for that called The Yukon. Very emotional, very deep poem. Everybody should know that poem called The Yukon, especially all you Appalachian people. Before you leave, you should read the actual poem, The Yukon. It's a great, great poem. Very, very deep poem. But anyway, if you think about nature, Mike knows all about nature. There is no middle. There's not a middle. There's not a middle. There's actually not a middle class. There's not a middle. Not a middle. There's not a middle. There's not a middle. There's also no such thing as homeostasis. So we are never holding our weight. We are never holding our finances. We are never keeping things under control. It's all bullshit. All a lie. Just all false, 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 false. We are either getting better or we are getting worse. That's it. That's all there is. That's it. There's a theory in science called entropy, 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 which you should look that up and understand what entropy is. Entropy is always at work. It's always breaking things down. You drive past roadkill today and you just drive past it 3 more days in a row, fucking roadkill's gone. Entropy broke it down. All the other little things came in, ate it off, whatever. But the aging process is an entropy process. The going broke process is an entropy process. Losing your physical ability and your athletic skills is an entropy process. So when we're doing master's athletics, we're fighting entropy. So it's very scientific what we're doing here. This is not just, when people, because I get the earfuls all the time. Yeah, I have a coworker said, "What are you doing that for? Why are you doing that?" I got a relative that's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you be doing track, or why are you powerlifting? They just say all this shit. Again, if you say they're selfish, if you say all these words that you can put on them, if someone just says, "So why are you interested in track? What's making you want to do that?" They're just interested in you. If someone is ridiculing you or giving you backhanded lies, they're not even compliments. It's just ridicule. That shouldn't be taken lightly. It's nothing light. It's like, my work that I'm doing on myself is lined up with nature. It's lined up with fighting entropy so I can keep my hips intact so I don't have to fall like you're going to soon and break my fucking back or my hips. How about that? How would you like that? How would you like me to serve that? With a side of asshole? I can serve that with a side of bitch or asshole if need be. Anyway, because you're acting like an asshole with that ridiculing question instead of, wow, that's so inspiring. I mean, I'm too lazy to do something like that, but you inspire me. That's just telling the truth. Someone's lazy, they're lazy. I mean, nothing to do about that. I don't, that's just them. They're lazy. They're like, I like my life as is. Well, that's fine. Well, I like my life as is, but guess what? When you start doing things that are athletic in nature, that are against entropy or against something breaking you down, it ends up becoming a narcissistic injury to certain stupid type of brains. So you have to be aware of that ahead of time. You need to know, oh, so me doing good things for myself actually is frustrating and narcissistically injuring brains that suck, because a healthy brain would be inspired by it. So if I ever pick up on people and I pick up that vibe coming towards me, I'm like, well, your brain sucks. That's first. So I won the genetic lottery on brains compared to you. Woo for me. 2 thumbs up. I love my brain. So great. So great to have a good, healthy brain. I'm telling you people, it's the best thing ever. And then number 2, this person is getting injured and frustrated by my hard work. Piss off, you know? So you need to feel that when you're doing something, there is a group of people. They're going to be so inspired by you, just like Jesus said, I'm not here for the Samaritans. Fuck you, Samaritans. I ain't here for you people. You need to see you're here for the people that are inspired by you, that are, they ask you how things are going. They actually are get happy for you. Don't spend an ounce of time on a brain that's getting a narc injury by you taking care of yourself. I swear, I've had clients tell me when they're morbidly obese and they're binging on food, when they are ex-crackheads or did cocaine or were on meth, they got less attacks when they are in the most fucked up situation of their life than when they're actually taking care of themselves. So I am highly protective over all of you to make sure that you are being kept safe, and not only being kept safe emotionally, psychologically, mentally, on all those levels. And for all of us, thank you. I see that, Cindy. For all of us to just be supportive of each other as well on that really strong level, that we're just lining up with science, or you could say math, because math is first, science and everything else comes after that. So let's just say we're lining up with math. You know how Dana's so good at math, Brittany's so good at math. So we're lining up with math. And if a fool who does not line up with math is going to get narc injured by you or frustrated by your lining up with math and science, that's their problem. But when you get raised to be nice, they will exploit you and exploit your niceness, and then you'll just quit everything. You will think it's not important because they'll make you feel like it's not important. They'll make you feel like it's not a big enough deal. Who gives a shit about that? They'll make you feel like it doesn't matter. Again, I'm only talking about a certain group of people. I'm not talking about every single person. And I don't care if it's their ignorance. I don't care. Even like my family was immigrants. So immigrants are like, we can barely even get food on the table. The last thing we're going to do is focus on sports. So their whole psyche is not going to be supportive because they're so low on the survival plane. So that's a big thing that I want to make sure that this seed is planted in all your heads now, so it can start to actually bloom in your brain. That don't do half measures when you think about people that are offensive to you. Don't soften up their talk, their comments, their ridicule, their lack of support, their lack of, having your back, asking you about how you're doing and so forth. If they can so easily forget something so unique like being a master's athlete, but you don't really need to spend a lot of time with that type of person. And just keep your time and your energy for people that have the same motive as you, which is to fight entropy, and to keep yourself as healthy as possible. So when the inevitable day arrives for all of us at 79, 89, 99, you've got all of this work you've been putting into yourself to take care of yourself, take care of your brain, take care of your blood pressure. I had one client, she had a heart attack from her blood being too thick. And that's why cortisol is very dangerous. You can't let your cortisol get elevated because it thickens your blood. And she was driving her kid to school and she got out of the car, started puking her brains out, walked herself into someone's house, walked right through the person's front door in Worthington, said, I need you to call 911. I'm puking my brains out and I don't know why. Gets to the hospital, having a massive heart attack at 42, massive heart attack at 42, too stressed out, was not controlling her cortisol levels, and thickened the blood. We had a trainer that watched a death of someone. And I said, come to the studio. I'm going to work you out for 6 hours today. We can't take a chance. I didn't care how young she was. I didn't want to take a chance that her cortisol was going to be so elevated watching that death that it could have gave her a heart attack. It could have thickened her blood too much. So this stuff is actually really real. It's very real. And you guys are doing such great behaviors for yourself, and you're being so inspirational. And don't try to inspire everyone. You're not here for everyone. You're only here for the people that give a shit about taking care of themselves and doing preventative measures. And they've got enough intelligence to see that it's a necessary thing instead of reacting to shit after it happens, which all of us did it when we were younger. But I think that's what your age is supposed to do. You're supposed to be getting smarter and being proactive so the shit never happens to you. So that's a big thing. So I wanted to make sure that you understood that. So now that I'm discussing this part of the workout, when I said, okay, there's been a little too many, injuries and really tight lower legs and toes and calves and Achilles and ankles and all that. You really, 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 really have to take your lower legs dead serious for all sports, no matter what the sport is. Lower legs, if anything in that lower leg gets hurt, you're done. I mean, not done, but you're out of being able to actually compete, or you're out or whatever. So it's so important to make sure you can only do so much on your own too. So you got foam rolling, you've got your massage guns, you've got, rolling on a little ball. You've got your Epsom salt either soaking in the tub, or you got to soak your feet only. You got to drive magnesium into your body. It is critical. So I know some of this stuff when I talk it, if you don't understand it enough, it'll just kind of go in your head and you won't think it's important, but it really is important. So I needed to kind of sink in this time. It's not an option about soaking your feet in Epsom salt. You have to drive extra magnesium into your cells. And you can read about magnesium online too. So it's so important when you're burning extra calories and sweating a lot from all of your obsessive training, you are throwing your electrolytes out of balance, especially your magnesium. And that magnesium going into the muscles helps them a lot, helps the ligaments and the tendons and all that. Cryo, if you do get injured, it's fantastic. Cryo is a wonderful thing, but not every single thing works for everybody. So each and every one of you has to figure out your little formula that's for your genetic. What's my formula that keeps me loose, limber, nothing feeling tight, and so forth? Massage is critical. Why? I have to get massage. Diane and I agreed on this. We didn't realize this. We were so similar. We had a lot of mesomorph. We're both ENTJ. We got a lot of mesomorph. We're very soma, as Michelle would say. So we're physical first. So Todd's mental. I'm very physical. And then there's emotional. I'd say Jody is more of emotional when I think of the 3 soma types. Jody would be more of the emotional soma type. I'm a real physical soma type. But the physical soma types, we hold all of our stress in our muscles. I wonder if Rachel is a physical. I think Rhonda is too. But a physical soma type holds all the stress here. A mental one holds it here. So it's not really in their muscles. They don't really get tight muscles. They're more mental. They're always in there trying to figure shit out mentally. And then the emotional somo type, they don't really hold it in their body either. It's more emotional. They need more emotional support. They need to talk things through longer. They need to make sure that they've asked several people, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? So they work through a lot of their emotions through talking things out. That's more of an emotional somo type. I think I'm saying all these right. If I remember them all correctly from Michelle, it was a great lesson. So if you're more of a physical somo type, you need to make sure that you're going the extra mile on massage and cupping, and you just really getting stuff moved out of your body. And a big thing about massage is they massage you from your hands upward because they're driving all the lymph and the blood flow towards the heart. So it just has so many good things that you really should learn about and understand very much when you're just laying on that table. Don't just lay there like you're at a spa. You need to be learning and getting your mind involved when they're actually doing that work on you. Get your mind. So like when Rachel and I stretch together, she's getting her mind involved while I'm stretching her and moving her around, and then boom, all kinds of healing starts to happen. So you really need to not take massage and foam rolling and your massage gun and yoga. Don't take those things light. They are just as important as obsessing on doing 50 drills of your throw or of your jump or of your starts in the blocks. They're just as important. So do not take that lightly. You are not Cam. You are not 10. None of us are 10 and 16 and 17 where everything is still growing and it's real loose. So you have to watch that a lot. So that's why I really wanted to make sure the 5 big stretches, you're doing all those stretches. It's critical. All this stuff is pretty cut and dry. Again, this is the final training before the actual next meet or final meet for outdoor track, which is the national throwing and jumping competition. So he's got everything here. When he's talking 95% pace, he means 95% pace. So I do want to tell you something about this. This was so cool. So let's say those of you that are whether you're race walking or you're some of the runners or whatever, sprinters, he did our warm-ups a week ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago. And he said, they were all, we were going for 100. So it was, like a 50, but he made us do the 50. He goes, okay, run at 20% for the 50, run at 40%, run at 60%. Run at 75%, run at 90%, and then it was time to actually do it. And those were the warm-ups. And so then he did another day where we did the 1 mile, 4 laps to warm up, and I hate that. And I said, oh my God, I feel so much better when we just controlled our body and only exerted half of the actual 100 or the 200 or whatever it was. And we did the warm up with just like those 6 or 7 runs that were at those percentages. I was totally warmed up. Then when it was time to do 100, it was my body knew, oh, let's go. Or 95. Okay, we know 95 now because we knew what 50 felt like. We knew what 75% felt like. And so it gets you much more in touch with yourself. You could do the same thing when you're throwing. So if you say, okay, I'm going to throw my first 5 warm-ups, I'm going to do that a 50% throw. And just, 50%, just barely tossing it. Then now I'm going to do it at 75%. Now I'm going to go all out on my throws. That is an actual great way to warm your muscles up. So you don't need long cardio or long endurance to warm up a muscle that's fast twitch. So that's the moral of the story, by the way. And I had the best practice ever. It was more fun, didn't get hurt, felt all my muscles, every single muscle that I needed for the 100 was already warming up because I used it for 30% and then for 40%. So I really love that. So that's just something you can do. You're trying to warm your shoulder up, start and feel your body. Okay, I'm going to do this at 20% throws. Doesn't matter where they go, just 20%, then 40, then 60. And then, okay, now I'm going to do 80 to 100%. Okay, lifting workouts. These are pretty cut and dry. Still a lot of fast twitch. One more thing I want to say about fast twitch. I am watching some of you. So you get a visual. So if you're benching, okay, down, back. This is slow twitch. Not okay. Not for powerlifting and not for track. You bring it down, explode, down, explode, down, explode. Shoulder press, heavy, up, control, up, control, up, control. So some of my clients that I've been working with, I did a big study about a month ago on fast twitch, and they said that the muscle bundle of a human has slow twitch, fast twitch 2A, fast twitch 2B. If you train your slow twitch, it's going to, let's just imagine that this is the muscle bundle. Let's just pretend these are all little fibers in there. You don't want your slow twitch growing, taking up the majority of the muscle bundle. You want those shrinking, and you want your fast twitch type 2B for sprinting, 2A for Karen, who's slow twitch, who needs 2A for race walking. All the rest of you need a lot of fast twitch in there. But you want those muscles to grow and expand and take over the slow twitch. You cannot get those muscle fibers to grow without training them only for fast twitch type 2B activity. And that's usually throwing a plyometric right by the exercise you're trying to change. So I got a lot of females in changing. I want to change their tricep, their pec, and their front delt fast twitch for the next powerlifting meet. So they're getting plyometrics by all of the upper body exercises. So it forces more oxygen, more anaerobic, and then it's telling that muscle, grow, grow, grow. Give me that fiber. Give me more of that fiber. So those fibers are in all of our muscle bundles. As a human, as a sapien, we're trying to grow the slow twitch type 2B ones. That's what we're trying to do before powerlifting or any kind of track athletic. Karen, genetically, obviously has more fast twitch type 2A, because even though that's kind of fast, but it's for more endurance. So she probably has a lot of slow twitch, but then she also has that 2A because she can actually haul ass too. So she can haul ass and she can go do distance. So that's why you want to make sure when you look at these workouts, don't be taking your own mosey time on any of them. Don't be going slow on your crunches, be aggressive on your crunch. Plank, you're just holding for plank or whatever, but you can switch those up. Weighted crunches matter for fast twitch. So everything needs to be explode, 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 and then rest. So lots of explosion. And you already know fast twitch ATP starts to regenerate every 2 to 3 minutes. I don't need to tell you the rest of that on that. Anybody have any questions here about what I've said so far on our workout, on being obsessive, and on that lower body, really taking a lot of care on your lower body? Any questions yet on that? I'm moving on. I'm trying to see what this says in this chat, if it will open up. Chris Horse, definitely in my muscles. Chris, what do you say? Definitely in my muscles. Tight. What are you saying about that?
What she holds, where she holds stress.
Where she,
Yeah.
oh, your soma.
Yeah.
Oh, so you are a muscle holder? Got
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. If you're a muscle holder, you can't do enough. The Epsom baths, massages, cupping, foam roller, Planet Fitness has those hydro massage beds, which are amazing. They got massage chairs. So if you guys are like, I'm just going to pay $24 and get those massage chairs and massage beds, I don't want to do massage, then go there. If not, go to Michelle. Get stuff done with cupping, and then she knows deep tissue so good. So when you know you're a body, a physical body holder, I know I am, I know Diane is, when you're a physical body holder of your stress, you got to make sure that you really are taking care of yourself. You're doing long warm-ups, cool downs, meditation, get your mind involved, all that kind of stuff. All your emotional people, you always have to have somebody you can talk to and trust to talk out all the emotions that you, if you're more of an emotional holder. And mental people, they usually will talk everything out too, or write it out. And they only trust other thinkers, which is perfectly fine. That's what mental people are. Okay, now I'm going to go over just to pull up the, get out of here, and I'm going to pull up the meet, get to the meet. I have to reshare, so hold on. So powerlifting calendar, where's my other calendar? Oh, right here. Okay. New share. Or can you guys see, do I have to do a new share again to see the USA track and field event or not?
I can see it.
Okay. Okay, so we got, all right, so on September 17th, we're back at Spires, and this is a national event. So because this is going to be national, we should be up on the board this time. And then that's when they're going to start racking up points for amp up. So that's going to be pretty amazing to be able to see that. So it depends on how many teams are there. I'm almost positive the last time I remember I was taking pictures when Brittany was running, I think it was only the top 3 teams I saw up on the board at any time. And then if another team came up, one would fall off, and then that team would be in the top 3. So based on whatever their scoreboard is like, the teams will be up there. So you'll constantly be able to see that. So that's very exciting. that we'll all be able to go through that. Want to cheer on the Greenleys. They are getting ready to go for Mike's birthday on a very long Appalachian Trail hike. So good luck to all of you. I'm sure you guys are gonna have a great time, and I'm so proud of all of you that you're doing all these physical things for your birthday, which is amazing, Mike. Amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We
You're
get a
welcome.
break from workouts on that trip.
No, good God.
Please.
God, no. Thank God, there's no
Yeah.
from your workouts. Even if you got to do it with just your arms, like, all right, Dylan, let's practice lunges to the stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, we were gonna, pack 6K and 5K shot puts and hammers and
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
in our
God.
backpack.
How far you would get carrying just the ball of the shot put. You'd be like, dude, we got to take a
Yeah.
rest every 15 minutes. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Even-
we're all about minimizing weight. We're all,
oh yeah.
I think, weighing in at about
Isn't
25
your
to 30
backpack 70
pounds.
pounds? Isn't your backpack going to be 70 no matter what?
Nah, 25 to 35. It kind of depends on your body weight, but
Oh, got you.
25,
so 25
30.
to 35.
Yeah, 25 pounds is ideal. Mine's just more
25
over
pound
30.
plate. I don't want a
so,
25 pound plate on my back. I just know that.
Yeah.
A 35 pound plate on your back. Walking with that. Oh, you
Yeah,
guys
and
are
actually,
going to back so
yeah,
fit.
it doesn't feel bad in the pack because you carry, supposed to position the pack with about 60% of weight on the top of your hips.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, thank
so
God they have you, that you've
it's not
researched
bad.
all those details, Mike. Thank God they have you. Oh my God. I would miss
Yeah.
all those details. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
We're all learning. It's been about 30 years since I have backpacked, so I'm
30?
very thankful. I'm in the shape now that I can do it because I used to do quite a bit of it. So
That's
that's been awesome.
Congratulations.
Thanks to you, the whole team, the Amp Up program,
Love
for all
it.
that. I know Jody and
Love
Karen will be saying the same thing, and Dylan as well. So
Love it.
you guys help
Love
make it possible.
That's so awesome. Oh my God, your family's so fit now. So awesome. So awesome. So awesome. Fantastic. Well, wow, 30 years. What a good way to celebrate your birthday, man. Great way.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
cool.
Yes,
So cool.
I did. Thank you very much.
Welcome. You are welcome. Okay, so now we are let's take a look at a meet that I found here, USA Powerlifting. This is pretty cool. Can everybody see my screen still with USA Powerlifting on it now?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So this one, 2023, this one is dated December 9th, and it is in Toledo, Ohio, which is actually very fun. Toledo's actually fun. I didn't realize how fun Toledo was. We did a meet there for USA Powerlifting with Diane. It was great. The town was awesome. And this one's called the Alpha Omega Christmas Classic. So this goes December 9th. So this could be a really fun one for us. And then that gives us, like I said, start powerlifting again in September, but the first 4 weeks, everything sucks. You're just kind of getting fast twitch again, more on that stuff, and then going pretty intense October and November, and then be able to go to Showtime in December. So that's what I'm thinking of. So I'm just putting that out on the table. Another thing we had to put out on the table is make sure everybody's okay, since the Greenlee gang is going to be gone for the track practice. We're going to move the track practice so they don't come back until the end of next week. So I'm wondering if Sunday the 20th is okay. Can I get a yay or nay? If Sunday the 20th, this will be our final practice before the actual meet. Will everybody be back in town? Is that good with everybody for August 20th, Sunday? Final one for our practice. Well, I didn't hear any nays. What's everybody saying? I will be at the Nationals. Oh, nay for you. Crap. Okay, what else? Who else? Works for me, definitely in the muscles. Okay, let me hear more, please. Because I do have, if 20th doesn't work, what about the 27th? Give me some feedback on 20th and 20th. Give me feedback on 20th or 27th, please, everybody.
Miranda said, can you repeat that?
Miranda. So for track practice, because there's too many people gone, this Sunday, the 13th, we want to move it either to the 20th or the 27th of this month for our final live practice, before the meet in the 17th. I'll try to adjust schedules as long as I know. Okay, so if everybody's saying, well, I got one conflict so far. Dana's got a conflict on the 20th. She's at the Nationals, Miss USA and Mrs. USA Nationals in Vegas. So if the 27th works for everyone and everyone can be there, let me know that, please.
27th works for me. I'll just be super jet lagged, so nothing out of the ordinary.
Well,
Me
when
being
are you
exhausted.
getting back? When are you getting back?
5 a.m.
Oh, okay, no, because
Not
I can
gonna work.
train you. I can train you. I
No,
can do
yeah.
that one-on-one with you.
Yeah,
So
so
the 20th and 27th are both going to suck for you. Okay. All right. No,
we can adjust our schedule.
we'll do ours. And
yeah.
Todd, I'll have Todd give me what he's going to do at practice and I'll do that with you live anyway. So, okay, I'm not worried about you then.
Yeah, so exclude me from the decision.
Okay. All right. If everyone is okay with the 20th, we'll keep the 20th. I'm not seeing anybody say nay. So let me pencil it in on the 20th. And then if I do get some feedback from others, then I'll put a message on there. So 20th or 27th on that Sunday, final day. And then we got obviously 17 days from there and then it's showtime again. And then if you guys can pencil in on your calendars, December 9th, powerlifting, just put that down on your calendar and then we'll see if that ends up playing out. Okay. For Toledo. Again, Toledo's a lot of fun. And that's USA powerlifting Toledo meet. Okay, December 9th. Okay, done with that one. Did that. Okay, so just going back one more, this is the final thing because I am going to go over this lesson that he just taught us. I don't know the CC schedule. I think it's okay. Oh, you mean your cafe schedule? Okay. And Kim, do you mean for Sunday? Are you meaning on those Sundays, either the 20th or the 27th? So you don't know what's going on? Okay. All right. Well, I'll wait to hear back from you. Let me make sure I covered all these things about people being tight. Okay, so remember the number one thing. Okay, got you. Well, keep us posted on that on the 20th or the 27th, so we know if either one of those are going to be okay. Even if you get there, like sometimes Karen and them don't arrive till 11, so you already saw how long we were working. So if you're like, okay, well, I can get there by noon or whatever, then it's fine. It's still fine. We're still putting in a lot of work.
Hey, Melinda.
Yeah.
Funny thing, I'm going to be out of town on December 9th. However, my out of town is Perrysburg, Ohio, which is right in Toledo.
So that means you can still do it.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God. Is that not great?
Hilarious.
That's great. Love it. Love it, Chris. Love it.
Add
Love it.
this to your girls' weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll
That's,
drink after.
that's great.
Yeah,
I
you
love
can
it.
drink afterwards.
And then she what?
You can drink afterwards.
Exactly. Exactly. So be all clean Friday night and then you can have a great time Saturday night.
That's convenient.
That is very convenient for you.
It's meant to be, Chris. It's what we're meant to do.
I love
Chris,
it.
will you go ahead and email the director since you are on top of all those things and ask her if there's like any urgency in signing up since the other one got booked out?
Yes.
Will do.
Yeah. And as you guys can see, if you can see my screen, it goes September sold out, October 14th sold out, November 11th already sold out. So we're going to have to book this like
Tomorrow.
soon. Yeah, like soon, because my God, they'll have November 18th left. Where's that one at? That's Brook Park, Ohio, which is near Cleveland, they said. But I like the idea of December. We need to have a couple months of good training. Rachel said should be good. Should we go
November's
ahead
the
and sign up
beginner
for
one.
September 19th for track?
November-
Yes, you should.
That November's the beginner one. That's the one they can't do.
Oh, they can't do this one.
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Well, you can't do that anyway. Yes, Rachel, all you track athletes that are throwing or jumping, please make sure you register for September 19th at Spires. Get your events registered, please. Okay, so just to let me make sure I said everything about the only thing I did not say, there were 3 things I did not cover that are still part of loosening up. One of them Number one, obviously, you know, I'm gonna pound your heads with it. The first thing that ruins your ability to be loose is lectins, is your food. You've eaten something that's inflamed the shit out of you. So do not go in denial about that. If you are, and then there's 3 seasons. I got this. This is a great podcast that Michelle sent to me that I listened to. It's a track podcast. Anyway, this track coach said there are 3 seasons. There is preseason, in season, and postseason. So there's never a time that there's an off season. There is no such thing as an off season. Anytime someone behaves like there's an off season, they gain all the weight back. They make their life complete hell. They usually injure themselves. You see any of these like Major League Baseball players or basketball players that gain too much weight in what they call the off season, then they go back and they get all fucked up when they first get back into the sport. So there is no off season. It's preseason, in season, and postseason. And postseason, powerlifting is the postseason for track athletes. That's our postseason. Then you go right back into preseason for a couple months, and you're right back into in season from March all the way to September. So pre, in, and post, no off season. Get that out of your head as a master's athlete. So that was big. No inflaming foods. Stretch while you're soaking in your Epsom bath. So anyone that does do Epsom baths, make sure you stretch really good while you're in the bath. It's fantastic. Roll massage yoga. Use your mind. So meditation is about the emptying process. So the purpose of meditation is not to add stuff to your head. It's to empty everything out of your brain. Empty out all your worries, all your concerns, everything that's making you nervous, everything that's giving you anxiety. You empty it out for 2 or 3 minutes, and you just do a mantra of one thought. And that's what meditation is. And it starts to make you get in control of your mind. You have to control your mind. You do not let your fucking mind tell you what to do. So as an example, when I was stretching Rachel, and she just got her mind completely involved, and her mind was fully engaged while we were stretching, it put a muscle back where it belonged, and it really matters. So do not let your mind control you. You control your mind. You empty out the thoughts every day, just like emptying the trash out. Put one thought in there for 3 to 5 minutes, one good mantra, and so forth. Okay, so now this is the final part. This is a very deep lesson that we just learned today. I'm only going to tell you a little tiny piece of it because I'm going to make you guys give me your definition. Michelle's the only one that's not allowed to answer because she very well might know this answer because she knows shit like this. So Michelle, you are not allowed to give the answer. What is the definition of love? So if you feel like saying it, say it. If not, type it and I'll read your answer. And it's not a long answer. What's the definition of love? What is love? Let's hear your definition. Every single person. None of you are bandwagoning. I'm not that kind of teacher. Yeah, I already answered her.
Okay.
I told her, yeah. And
Thanks for-
thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for sending that email. Okay, Chris gave an answer already. No bandwagon. No bandwagon. Don't even try it, people. Nope. Cindy, nope. You can't use something you already saw somebody else say. Pick your own words. Everybody pick your own words. No bandwagons. And you can't use the word love either. Cannot use the word love. What is love? You're not allowed to say love. And don't be afraid. I'm not going to judge anything that you say. Just
I like Rachel's first answer.
a deep defection. Really likes your first answer. Just pull out of your head what definition's in there. If society gave it to you, if school, whatever. Keep going. Keep going. Everybody put your answers out there. Let's see if we got everybody. Everybody that's on here right now. I think we might. Yeah, that's everybody's on here right now. Okay. All right. Okay. Dana? I don't have one from Dana, do I? Dana, we need your answer.
You don't want my first answer. My first answer was the first word that popped into my head, which was myself. So that was the initial answer that I had. And I had to change my answer. So
Okay. You can't say complex.
What is complex?
What?
Dana said she is love. That was her
I
first answer.
am myself.
So Miranda said God is love. Dana said she is love.
All right. We didn't have to analyze that. We could have left that part out.
I'm trying to think if that is an answer. Let me think here. Okay. And then you put complex.
Yes, because
Complex. Okay. All right. Okay. So most people, all of you, including us, have the wrongness is so wrong, it's unbelievable. It's not this at all. Okay. Now there's a such thing as polarity. Okay. So what's the polar opposite of love? You can either say your answer or type it. One word. What's the polar opposite of love? I mean, this one's going to be, oh, look at her thinking over there. See Cindy thinking over there. Cindy loves quizzes. She can't get enough quizzes. I should just give Cindy quizzes all the time. Oh, look at these. Look at these. The intuitive, of course. Of course, the intuitive. And we're missing a couple. Keep coming. What's the opposite of love? Opposite of love. We need a few more answers. I think we need 2 more answers. Okay, got Gail. Was that the last one I needed? Let me see, make sure I got everybody. I think you all answered. Okay. And those answers are going to make you all behave in a certain way. It's incredible. Okay. All right. So the definition of love is the expansive aspect of consciousness open up to what is. That's the definition of love. So the ability to expand your consciousness. And the opposite of love is the polar opposite of it. We have one right answer here today. Fear. The energy of love, since it's an expansive aspect of consciousness, notice how this is not Hollywood's definition of this shit. The proof that you are thinking and acting in love, and you have an expansive aspect of consciousness, you're always trying to raise your consciousness. The proof of that is it will bring order. It will bring a light, happy energy. There will be no anxiety or reason for it. The opposite of love, or the polar of love, is fear. And guess what the definition of fear is? Fear brings chaos, disorder, disarray, and it shuts down consciousness. That's actually fear. Isn't this amazing? Like when you hear definitions and they're not emotional. They're not like some stupid, crazy bullshit emotion. So the polar opposite of love is fear. Fear brings chaos, disorder, disarray, and it shuts down consciousness. So you cannot think clear. So why am I bringing this up for athletes? Because if you expand your consciousness, you open up your consciousness, which you all had to, all of you already had to even be masters athletes. You're opening up your consciousness. You have to be careful because most people do not operate through the energy of love, which is an open, orderly consciousness. They're going to speak to you in fear, which is chaos, disorder, disarray. We could call it small-minded, you can call it all that, but it's just low consciousness. So it should be able to keep your own emotions more tempered and controlled, because you should be able to see people differently. Hate actually isn't the opposite of love. Fear is. And there's only love. And in the absence of love is fear. And there's actually no other emotions. Isn't that amazing? There's no other emotions. We just put all these definitions on shit. There's actually no such thing as anxiety. You're disorderly. Your consciousness is too low. You haven't figured an answer out. So that's why it's so important to make sure that when you are taking an action, whether it's for sports or something that you're wanting to do, you don't want to talk to someone that is chaotic, disorderly, disarray, low consciousness, because what answers can they give you? They can only give you those four. They're going to give you a chaotic answer, a disorderly answer, an answer that causes more disarray, and a very low conscious answer. So be careful who you are talking to. Be careful who you tell what you do. Be careful who you ask information from. If you're asking from when you want something to go your way, which you should want everything to go your way, you want to ask someone that has an open, an expansive aspect of consciousness. They are more conscious, so they are going to give you an answer that doesn't confuse you, cause you disarray. It makes things more orderly, makes you be able to take action quicker, and the right action that leads to the actual win that you're looking for. So that's how important it is to understand the polarity of love and fear. So there's only love. And if you see someone has fear coming out of them, they don't have love. Their consciousness is too low. So the best help you can do is help raise their consciousness. You can't make their fear go away with more fear. So that's a big thing. I wanted to plant that seed in you. Make sure that you understand that the reason that I'm saying something like that, especially around sports and around doing athletics and so forth, is because some of you, this might be a huge dream of yours, and I'm picking up, or Brittany's picking up, or Todd's picking up, which we are. I'm not going to name names. Some of you have too much fear, and you're too disorderly in your behavior still, not nice and organized and clean. In your practices, or being obsessive with your behavior or your diet or whatever you need to get done. And you need to actually look into yourself and see, okay, am I afraid of this work? Is this work going to make me stand out too much and I want to be a wallflower? I want to blend in, I want to hide. Is this work going to get me in trouble because I'm not allowed to have fun? Is this work going to make me beat a narcissistic relative, parent, friend, blah, blah, blah? And that's going to cause narc injury to them. And I'm afraid of that. That would be mine. So you need to be aware of that stuff. And it really matters, and it really impacts. And it also, if it comes off you, it's going to come, and your kids are going to pick up on it. So whether it's kids that you teach or your own offspring, they're going to pick up your energy. They're going to pick up disorder. They're going to pick up disarray. They're going to disrespect you because of it. So don't blame them. Don't blame them if they're disrespecting you. Don't blame them if they're being short with you or whatever. You're vibing off too low consciousness. That's it. And it's not emotional. It's like, wow, I just have to up my consciousness. So when you say I want to up my consciousness, the universe can't wait to help you do stuff like that. So, and constantly learning is the greatest way to up your consciousness. There's no magic behind upping your consciousness. Just constantly learn and quit making up lies. Don't make up lies about people. Don't make up lies about nature. Don't ever make up lies about it. It will fuck you over really bad. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye. Let us know if you guys need anything.